Oh, hey, welcome back to Nerd Abiding. No Worm himself, and we are here playing some more in the lovely world of Enderal. Last time we went to speak to someone who would hopefully help us with our with our arcane fever. Then we went and tried to find out information about an old woman in the cave, and found a bunch of enemies that were way too difficult for us. So I actually don't know why I came in here. I wonder if do I have a quest? Part of something momentous, part more important to Constantine on what has transpired. So yes, we were. Alright, let's go see Constantine.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
I don't know.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here.
Yeah, you want to fight about it?
This is holy ground, Outlander.
Blah, blah,
You don't
blah.
belong here.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You said that already. I belong over here.
Now, if it isn't the prodigy...
That's me. Lashari performed the ritual on me. There were problems in Old Rashengrad.
Yes, I know. She's already told me everything. Good work. Even though part of her report seemed to be a bit... enthusiastic. But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest.
Oh boy. I'm not sure if I want to be part of all of this. Whatever it is you're searching for.
Oh yes? Well then listen carefully. Lucy probably hasn't told you, but the ritual was as dangerous for her as it was for you. In other words, she and all of us have risked a lot for your healing. Also,
nobody
she
told
seems
me.
to see something special in you. Heck knows why, but she does. So at least have the decency to listen to what Aranthiel wants to tell you. He is in the Emporium of the Temple. Just tell the guard who you are, and they will let you in. Ah yes, before I forget. My dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book, an old map, or a bag of pennies?
I'm gonna take the book.
Very well. Now get a move on. I'm sure we'll talk again
Learning
later.
points. There we go. I don't think I was hurting for learning points, was I? There's crafting points that I go through like crazy. Learning points I seem to be okay with.
Wherever you look.
Blah,
Where
blah,
is this supposed to lead?
So yeah, let's go upstairs. Did we go upstairs last time? Oh, we did. And there's still not anybody up here, is there? Well, that's curious. I guess it is nighttime, so maybe not that curious. Alright, let's head on out here and go see this fella.
Move along.
Oh, shut your... Oh my god, you have one conversation that repeats over and over again. Let me see. Over here? They want me to go over here, okay. Into the Emporium. And Emporium, to me, sounds like a shopping center, but I think I've made that mistake before. Yeah, there was. There was an Emporium, that Guild Emporium. Maybe Emporium has another name, another meaning that I don't know. Well, it's a pretty cool place, I gotta admit.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Let's hope he does too. If by he you mean...
division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
Yeah.
To find out who sent
Who are you?
mercenaries.
Novus?
Walk blessed.
Said
No,
that
I don't
they
think I
were
will.
after the signet stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle. Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Tila, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Tilor, back then in Kira.
Natara, the mission will happen. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
Clearly.
So, you are the prodigy everyone is talking about. Interesting.
Yes.
I am
interesting.
Aranthia, son of Lorius I and Grand Master of the Order, and I'm honored to meet you. What is your name?
I don't know if I'm Mad Mulligan, and you wanted to see me?
Yes, and I will come straight to the point. You are here because I believe that you are special. Humanity faces a threat that needs to be stopped, and to achieve this, you are indispensable.
Well, I'm pretty indispensable anyway. You're talking about the Red Madness, aren't you?
Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds, to name only the most obvious. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. You, however, have encountered it, as have I.
The visions? So you know where they come from?
I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already
Oh boy,
know
I have to
who I
follow
am.
somebody
My
again.
entire life, I served gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Narazul Aranthial. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom. So
Okay.
he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well.
Did
It all
they...
ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me.
If Narzul was your son, why did he hate the gods so much? Shouldn't he have been, I don't know, devoted to them?
There were circumstances favoring the development, but it's a long story which we won't discuss now.
Okay, you got someplace to be? So the Lightborn really are dead. If you, the Order of the Gods, acknowledge that fact, why do people not know about it?
Good question. Because at the moment stability is the highest good, even more so considering what we are facing. The rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails. Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy.
Oh
It is
boy.
unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors.
Maybe we wouldn't have a
I am
theocracy
sure you
anymore?
understand this. Maybe when all this is over that will change, but for now it is imperative that we deny all rumors of that kind.
But you managed to free yourself.
Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during my escape in the northern mountains of Nerim, I also had them for the first time. The dreams.
Okay.
I always saw the same glaring, terrible light. I heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside.
Ugh. That sounds unpleasant.
Like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow.
You can keep walking? You having trouble there with the stairs,
2
brother?
days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me.
The acolyte of your son? But weren't they your enemies then?
Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead, an old monastery in the mountains. The others were aware of my identity, but for whatever reason they did not kill me. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. At first, in insanity. But after some time, I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others, magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the same place.
Ugh.
A shared memory.
Mm-hmm. A shared memory? You mean the dreams originate from what? A common mind?
A collective subconscious, yes. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. But like you back then, we were not able to make sense of the images. So we went looking for answers in the remains of the civilization that was before us. The Pyreans.
Thus the excavations, like in old Rashigrad. What did you find out?
3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything
Don't try and
that has
jump.
happened in the past
There's an
years,
invisible
and which
wall.
is
You won't be
still
able to.
happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end.
Hundreds of prophets have predicted the end of the world, and it has never happened. At least, I guess it only has to happen once.
I see why you would say that, and I've felt the same way for a very long time too. But there came a moment when we simply could not deny it anymore. We began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall after the reign of the Eterna. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The 2 castes of the Sun Priest. They, too, ruled until they were overthrown. This overthrowing was followed by an outbreak of wars and chaos. And then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist.
Poof.
They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They called this event the Cleansing.
Ooh, that sounds ominous. The Pyreans knew about the threat. Why didn't they try to do something about it?
They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? Maybe
Because they didn't
found
have
out
me.
too late.
They
or
didn't have
maybe they were
Mad
too weak.
Mulligan. How the blazes can an entire civilization just disappear?
That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end was not violent, at least not in a sense as we know it. There was no natural disaster, no magical explosion, no plague. Even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died. It is ghastly.
And where do I come in? Where do these visions and my powers come from?
Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within every cycle, characters do as well.
Characters recur?
Yes, the Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly before the cleansing occurs, like a law of nature, an answer to the Red Madness. And I am one of them, as
Oh boy.
are you. While I take on the role of the ruler, You take on the role of the prophetess.
Says who? I'm supposed to be a prophet.
It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story matches the descriptions perfectly.
A few weeks ago I was a slave in Nerim, and now I'm a fucking prophet? Couldn't you have told me that back then? And I take it this is the reason the Nerimese mages are here, isn't it? Firespark, Pegast, Sharim.
Yes. Former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former mages is vast, as is the power of the Holy Order. Even though not all of the Keepers agree, as you probably have already noted yourself.
Oh yeah. If I play a role, does that mean something is controlling me? Controlling us?
No. As I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on a chessboard. We are determined by our skills. How and to what end we use them is our choice.
So says you. You got anything to back this up, dude? And what defines this prophet?
On the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed.
Well, that is true.
You have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore into the future.
Into the past and therefore into the future? What do you mean?
Your visions are a window into the past. And as every cycle is based on the same events, it is a window into the future as well. You can feel the thread
I see what you mean, but
with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen again. This gift makes you indispensable to us, and it is why I want your help.
Why do you think that we can overcome this cycle in the first place, after hundreds of civilizations have failed before us?
That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait and die?
That is an alternative. And if all this doesn't interest me?
Hollow words. Deep inside, you know your responsibility. Trust me, we are more alike than you believe.
Can I actually refuse this? Well, what's in it for me if I help you?
If it is wealth and power you seek, you
I don't want power. I want some pennies. That's it. Alright, well, a bag of pennies would be great. Thanks. Well, I guess. Alright, if I can help, I'll try to do so.
Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual...
Oh, there's always one more thing.
I want you to join our order.
Oh, fuck off.
And to do so, you have to pass a test.
I don't want to join your holy order. Join your order? Is that really necessary?
It is. Whatever you think about our story, we are the only faction that is strong enough to oppose the cycle.
Who gets to choose
that? If you want to
that?
be part of our mission, you need to have access to our knowledge and resources. There will be voices in the Order speaking against your admission, as they are speaking against the presence of the Nerimese mages. Consider it an honor or a necessity. It is up to you.
Really? What kind of test?
It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best students of the Squalor are allowed admission, and even though you have not been a novice, I want you to take it too. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have informed them about your arrival.
Really? Who are the 2 novices? You've already informed them? How could you know that I'd agree?
I had a hunch. Let us leave it at that.
In other words, you bullied me into it. Great. Who are these 2 novices?
I have had a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented and have been working hard toward the test. But see them for yourself.
Very well. Where can I find them?
At the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you there. Take the Myret, talk to Signet Master Bartar, and hand him this package. And then follow his orders.
This isn't the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern thing, is it?
But keep your knowledge about the death of the Lightborn to yourself.
Hey, the Lightborn are dead. Don't tell anyone. Hey, Hey, you, the Lightborn are dead. Don't tell anyone. You, hey, you, the Lightborn, they're dead. Don't tell anyone. You, hey, shh. The Lightborn are dead. Don't tell anyone. Where'd that gardener go? He should know. He should know.
Well met.
What do you want, urchin child?
I'm going to tell you that the Lightborn are dead.
want?
Yeah, the Lightborn are dead. Don't tell anyone.
Well.
Don't mind me, the Lightborn are dead. Don't mind me, the Lightborn are dead. Did you hear me, the Lightborn are dead? I said the Lightborn are dead.
No, an outlander. What are you doing in
The
this
Lightborn,
part
they're
of the
dead.
city?
Don't tell anyone. Hey, did you know the Lightborn are dead? Don't tell anyone. Oh, by the way, the Lightborn are dead. Yes, the Lightborn are
The
dead.
prodigy?
I do not believe you can do any real harm. But in the worst case, path-abiding people will consider you a heretic. After the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we tell our people about it. But not now, that is for sure. Now, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this formality, the better.
Hey, I don't want to be here. Alright, fuck off then. That's the way you're gonna be. You filthy fugglers. Well. Really, Molly? You gonna do this? I suppose you don't have a choice. Oh boy. Alright, well where do they want us to go? Hey you.
Seems the Grandmaster is crazy for you.
Yes.
So who am I to question his judgment?
You are not.
Now look at that. It's the prodigy.
How did you end up in Narathzul's Eranthiel order?
Now look at that. Someone who's actually interested in us as people, rather than in our knowledge about the Pyreans. But it's your lucky day. I really wouldn't mind a good talk right now. Hold on a second. Arizalian brandy. Vintage 8214.
Lovely.
What do you say? A glass and a good talk? There are a couple of things I wanted to ask you anyway.
Oh yeah, I love a good brandy.
All right then. When I hear you say that, don't regret for a second that I never came back to Ostian. Even though I've thought about it from time to time.
You're from Ossian. You look more like a Scarag to me.
Wow. Finally, someone who says it up front. Yeah, I've got some Scarag blood in me, though comparably little in regards to how much it shows. My grandfather, he used to serve in the South Realms Marines. And one day they captured a ship of Scarag raiders, some of them women. Stories say he fell in love with one of them, and yeah, you can connect the dots. But to answer your original question, yes, I'm from Ostian. Though we fled the city around 10 years ago. The right choice, as I probably don't need to tell you. The temple was always a bunch of fanatical fuckheads.
Yes.
But that bastard High Priest Janus gave the word butcher an entirely new meaning.
One more thing about your ancestry. Do you know anything more about that woman your grandfather fell in love with? That's not an everyday story.
I know. And, nah, I hardly know anything about her. Only that they were raiders and that she fled about 2 years after giving birth to me. Poor Grandpa. You should have seen how people reacted to the way I looked. Even as a kid, they always looked at me and my almond-shaped eyes as if they were expecting me to pull out a skull fetish any second and start putting curses on anyone in the vicinity.
Honestly, I'm not surprised about what Janus did. Give someone too much power and they show you their real face.
Maybe. Warriors of the Creator. War against the infidels. The Creator's children don't even sugarcoat how radical their faith is anymore.
Nope.
And still, so many people join their ranks. It's fucking insane. But then again, I guess that's religion for you.
Yup.
Don't think for yourself anymore. Let someone else do it for you. At least it was for my brother.
You have a brother?
I had. He was about 15 years older than me, and was always a
Quite
troubled
an
child.
age difference.
Rakul. That was his name. You know, my family was very wealthy before we fled. Drapers for generations. The best in Ostia.
Hmm.
I suppose that's why my father expected so much from Rakul, since I, as a woman, wouldn't have been allowed to take over the business when my father was retired.
A woman draper? Why,
But
that's
Rakul,
just
he just wasn't made
outrageous.
out for it, you know? He was shy and introverted, and never had a hand for money. I can't remember how often father told him that he was a disgrace to the family.
And then he found his faith and joined the Creator's Children.
You can call it that, yes. Looking back, I think the temple only gave him what father wouldn't. A perspective. The feeling of being needed. He spent almost all of his time in the temple after his conversion, and knew the entire Rania, their holy scripture, by heart. Well, in one day, he announced that simply attending the masses wasn't enough anymore. He would join the temple's warriors.
Neglected young men without a perspective in their lives. Number one choice of any hate monger.
Damn right. That's what these bastards do. They exploit the vulnerability of people like him and indoctrinate them with their fucking bullshit. And once that's done, they send them to fight for their holy causes. In other words, their own interests, like pawns on a chessboard. And if they die, then they call it a fucking honor. I'm sorry, my dame. Your youngest son just died. But don't worry, he's in a better place now, eating grapes and drinking honey. What solace, isn't it? Now, do you have any other neglected children for us? We're running short on material. Damn it, I hate those bastards. I just hate them so much.
Yeah, and I suppose that's what happened to your brother? He died fighting for the Creator?
He was slaughtered, hacked into pieces by Chancellor Baratheon's cavalry. That was before the peace treaty. I'd be surprised if they taught him what end of a lance to stab with before they sent him into the field. But, well, I guess that answers the question you asked me up in the temple, doesn't it? I was sick of seeing people using religion for their own ends. Creator, Lightborn, the Great Spirit. Same shit, different name. And you know what? No matter how much chaos the death of the gods caused, I don't regret being a part of it, not in the least. It was the right thing to do. Anyway, I'd say we call it quits for now, okay? It was good talking to you, but I'm dying for a nap. Take care.
Okay, I guess that is it. Later, Lashari. What about this book? Myths and Legends of Ardervain Doan. Okay. Where am I right now? Okay. Hey,
Keep walking.
I am. I don't need you to tell me that. The noble quarters. And we needed to see, I think, was Jespar in the noble's quarters? Marketplace. Oh, he's in the marketplace. Alright, well, let's head to the marketplace. We've already been to this bar, this inn, this pub, this tavern. Oh, there he is. Good God, I can't see for... Oh, I'm sitting.
So, tell me, how are you holding up? It must have been quite the whirlwind. Yesterday, a refugee from another country, and now a prodigy with a magic great enough to impress old Bushybeard.
Honestly, I'm still trying to make sense of it all.
Good luck with that. I'm quite curious to see how things keep on with you. You're different. I noticed that the time we met. Anyhow, tell me, what do you make of this country now that you've had some time to look around? I figure it must be quite the change from Nerim.
You're right about that.
Shoot. Yeah, I can picture that. You know, this is exactly the reason why I love inns so much. The sky can rain fire out there. In here, you'll always meet laughter and good humor. Not to mention all the good-looking men and women.
Some of the ladies are not to be scoffed at indeed.
Absolutely. Though I think I've seen enough of this place by now. Of Enderal, I mean. There's a ship sailing for Calais next morning, and as it seems, it will be the last one for quite some time to come. Who knows? Maybe they still have a cabin to spare for a handsome treasure hunter.
What? You want to leave? In spite of all this happening?
Oh well. This entire thing was more a coincidence than planned anyhow. The Order needed someone with skill and discretion. I was around. End of story. I never intended to stick around for much longer. Heck, me as an ambassador of the Holy Order, could you imagine that? Not one step further, O fair maiden. Drop your garment so we may both bathe in Malphas's holy light.
That sounds about right to me.
Actually, not that bad, don't you think?
No, it's great. Very convincing.
Oh, you're too kind. But you know, at the end of the day, I guess I'd probably lack both the pathos and the idealism for such a profession. You know, I'm aware of how these esteemed keepers up there talk about sellswords like me. I could save 30 virgins from a Myrodon rampage. At the end of the day, they'd always say I did it for the money, because I wanted to bed the women, or whatever. I'm driven by inferior motives. While no matter what their actions end in, they are good guys, because they do things for the right reasons. If only they'd understand that it's results that matter, not intentions. What does the wise hermit say? Nothing is of less importance to the saved than the reason for their rescue. The only difference between a mercenary like me and a holy warden is that I'm at least aware of the fact that I do what I do for myself, and no one else.
Hear, hear. What exactly are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that all those heroes and self-declared messiahs are no better than everyone else. In the end, we are all selfish, because we always act in accordance to what we think we have to be like. So yes, maybe the keeper saves the farmer from the bandits. But at the end of the day, he does it because he sees himself in a certain light. You know, the funny thing is that a lot of times, it's especially those who think of themselves driven by a higher purpose who are the really dangerous ones.
Yeah, agreed.
They don't understand what drives them, and that makes them easy to manipulate. The only thing left to do for the capable hate-monger or tyrant is to somehow combine his own ambitions with the mental image of this person. And presto, you've got your perfect puppet, only waiting to dive into the next hail of arrows for their honor, their religion, or whatever they thought of this time. It's just so idiotic. You know?
Yeah, it is.
The world would be a much better place if everyone could just acknowledge that the only reason we're here is that we want to be happy.
So what you're saying is that in the end, every person just wants to be happy? That's the purpose of life?
Yeah. Seek bliss and avoid pain, as the wise hermit likes to say. And believe me, once you realize that that's how people just work, life is a lot better.
You have to have some kind of goal in your life, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I do. And this goal is called surviving. And if possible, to be able to enjoy a good glass of wine or an exciting night from time to time.
There's sense in that, I'll admit.
Really? I was half expecting you to throw insults at me. That's what people usually do when I tell them that. But I guess life is full of surprises. Anyway, I'll take my leave now. I very much enjoyed our talk. But the ship to Kilé leaves before the first cocks crow tomorrow, and I want some more time to think about it.
For what it's worth, I wouldn't mind if you stayed. The city needs more good-looking mercenaries.
Well, it most recently gained a good-looking Naramese woman. Maybe that'll make up for when I leave. Keep your chin up.
Well, alrighty then.
Malphas's blessings.
Well, that was a very story-focused episode, but I still think we need to call that apart here. Next time we'll I want to do a little bit of shopping, and then we'll probably take a trip outside the city and see if we can I don't know, kill some stuff. If you liked what you've seen, and I hope you did,
Can I help you?
click like, leave a comment. Love reading the comments. If you want to see more, and I hope you do, please subscribe to the channel. You can also follow the Twitter at NerdAbiding. Both of those will allow you to be informed of when new videos come up. But until next time, y'all just keep on having fun, and watch out for the Holy Order. I don't know if I like them. Later. The Lightborn are dead.